Hello and welcome to today's science lesson. Today we'll go over the homework that we had last time and then we'll move on to today's lesson in the course book or the pupils book. Now let's go on to the workbook first, and the homework was on page, I think 48. Yes, page 48. Okay. The homework is in topic 12, solids and liquids. The first one is write S by the solids, write L by the liquids. Okay. In A, we have a wood brick, so we can say that's a solid. So we can write S. Now for this one, this is a bottle of water. Now the bottle itself, the bottle is solid, but the water inside is liquid. Okay, so here we're not going to write the answer here. We're just going to write S for the bottle and L for the liquid, because we have a liquid and a solid in this one. C, we have a metal pan, so this is a solid. Here we have water coming out of this one here, so we can say the water is liquid and the sink is solid. So this is liquid. If it's water, it seems like water, so we can say it's liquid, and this is solid. Here we have two pieces of rock and they are solids. Now here, this one is tricky again, so we're going to do this. The glass is solid and the water inside is liquid. So solid, S for solid, and L for liquid. Okay, good. Now here, true or false. River water is liquid. So the water is always liquid. If it's solid, it's ice. Otherwise, if it's water, it's liquid. So this is true. Wood is solid. See, this is wood as well. So this is solid. So that's true. Solids pour and flow. No, solids don't change shape and they do not pour nor flow. So here we can cross it out as false. Liquids keep their shape. No, liquids take the shape of whatever they're in. So this is water, water, and all of them are liquid, and they take the shape of whatever they're in. So here we can just cross this one out because it is incorrect. Okay, pretty good. Let's move on to the next one. 3, how many liquid containers can you count? Okay, so here liquid containers means things that can contain liquid inside them. Okay, so whatever can hold liquid, we're going to count as 1. Let's tick them. Here we have a bowl, so yes, it can contain liquid. A bottle, yes. A gallon or a container, yeah. It's a box, a card box. Card boxes can't hold water. If you try to put water in a card box, it will most likely get wet and the water will escape from it, so no. A bucket, yeah, of course. Another container, yes. A pan, of course. An umbrella, well, umbrellas can hold water, but not as much as the others. So we're just going to have to cross this one out. A cup is, yes, one of them. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? Is that it? Yes. So write the number here. It's 7. Color the liquid containers. Fill them all with water. So here we have to color them with either blue or light blue, just to indicate that there's water inside of them. And you can even color the containers themselves. If they're like this one, the ball here, you can color it whatever color you like. The bucket, the container, you can color them whatever color you like, but just make sure that you color the water inside as well. Light blue is the best color. Blue, light blue, something in between is good for water. Okay. Now, draw the liquid containers in size order, smallest first. Okay, we have a bath, a bottle, a bucket, and a cup. Okay, so the first one is obvious. It's going to be the cup. Let's draw a cup. Okay, not the best cup, but it looks nice. A bottle is going to be the obvious second. So here, just going to draw a bottle. Looks like a water bottle to me. The next one is a bucket. So you can do this. Just to make it seem a bit nicer. And it has to have the handle as well. I think we could do this. I think this looks okay. I think so. A bath is the biggest one, so this can be a bath. This is a big bath. We can write the words here, just so we can get used to the spelling. So cup, bottle, and then bucket, and last but not least, bath. Again, if this is too fast, you can always pause the video and write them at your own pace. Okay, so I think we've done everything here. This seems good, and we can move on to the next thing on the list, which is doing today's lesson in the course book. Okay, so today's lesson is going to be on page, let's see. Okie dokie. Page 64. Okay, so today's homework is on page 64. Topic 13, the earth and the sun. Okay, now let's look at the first thing we have here. This is called the earth. The earth is where we live. We live on earth. The earth is a planet. Okay, so where do we live? Earth. What's Earth? It's a planet, okay? The Earth is a huge ball of rock, water, and metal. It travels through space, okay? So if you look up in the sky at any time, and you can see that it's there's a lot of space there, and that's what we call space. If you look at night, you can see a lot of stars, but in the morning, you can only see the sun and maybe a little bit of the moon, if you're lucky. These are planets and stars that are outside of Earth. So they travel through space. So that's what we call space. And Earth is in space as well, and it's a planet. It travels through space. The Earth has two parts, land and water. Water is all of these blue spots that you can see on the ball, and these continents or these green and yellow spots are called land. So some parts of Earth are land. People live on the land. Okay, so this is land. So wherever you find buildings or people that are moving and shopping and living their lives, this is called land. The other part is water. Some parts of Earth are covered with water. These are oceans, seas, rivers, and lakes. Fish and other creatures live in the water. So we can't live in water, but there are many other creatures that live inside water. So some of these creatures are fish, crabs, sea turtles, and many other sea creatures that live in the ocean or close to the ocean. So that's the other part, which is water. So again, we live in Earth. Earth has two parts, part land and part water. We live on the land, and many other creatures like fish live in water. Great. Now, the sun. The Earth moves around the sun. So here, I'm going to draw a small diagram. So this is the sun. Earth, this one here, travels around the sun. So Earth travels around the sun, not exactly in a circular motion. It travels around the sun in sort of an egg shape, or more or less between a circle and an egg shape, and it travels around the sun. So this is Earth, and this is the sun. Okay, the Earth moves around the sun. So this is an important word you have to remember. The path it follows is called its orbit. So this path that it follows is called an orbit. Okay, so the Earth travels around the sun in an orbit. The sun is a star. It's a huge ball of fire in space. You've ever noticed that you can't look at the sun? That is because it's made out of fire and it's very, very bright. So that's why we can't look at it. So it is a huge ball of fire in space. The sun gives us heat and light. It is much bigger than the Earth. You can see the size of the sun and the size of Earth. It can even actually be smaller than this, but this is just to make it clear that the Earth goes around the sun. So the Earth is smaller compared to the sun. The Earth is very, very big, but compared to the sun, it's actually a lot smaller. Okay, so just to recap, the Earth is a planet, part land and part water. The sun is a star. The Earth goes around the sun in an orbit. The sun gives us heat and light. It is much bigger than Earth. Okay? So, let's move on to the activity. Stand in the sunlight. Move to the shade. Which is hotter? Which is cooler? Now, we'll answer this one here. We'll answer this one here. And answer the other one under it. Okay, so we stand in the sunlight and then in the shade. Which one is hotter? Have you ever played out in the park or anywhere and noticed that it's getting very hot in the morning or around afternoon? That is because you are in the direct sunlight. So, which is hotter? Sunlight. Which is cooler? That is the shade. Shade. Okay? So whenever you are in the sunlight, you will feel that it's hot and it's getting hotter. Whenever you're in the shade, you'll feel it is cooler. Although sometimes the sun is very bright and the heat will get to you even if you're in the shade. But nevertheless, it will always be cooler than being in direct sunlight. Okay, make models of the Earth and the sun. Which is bigger? You can make models with clay or maybe anything else you can find that you can shape anything you like. But just for this exercise, I'm going to draw it here. We already drew it here, but we're going to draw it again. This time, we're going to write inside the circles. This is the sun. Now, Earth is going to be small. So write Earth. And it goes around an orbit around the sun. Okay, so what is this called? Orbit. Okay, so that's an example or a simple version of our solar system. The solar system is a group of planets that go around a star, in this case, the sun. Okay, there are many other planets in our solar system, but for today, we'll just do with the Earth. That's the most important one because we live in it. Okay, day. In the daytime, we are awake. The sun gives us light to see. Okay, so during the daytime, we are usually awake and the sun gives us light to see. Okay, that's the daytime. So whenever you find light and brightness outside, that is called the daytime. Now the activity is, what do you do in the daytime? What do you do in the daytime? Now, you can do many things in the daytime. You can play, we used to go to school, and hopefully we will after this epidemic is finished. So that's something we do in the daytime. We can go shopping, we can go to the mall, anywhere that we like. So that's what we do during the daytime. So what can you see during the daytime? Well, pretty much everything, because the sun gives us light and it's very clear and we can see everything. Now here's something you could do for fun. Paint a picture of the day. I'm gonna give you an example. It's gonna look very simple, but here I have the sun. Let's say we're out shopping. This is the mall. It has big doors. And this is me. This is Alice. And you can draw yourself. This is you. So we're going shopping in the mall, maybe buy some chocolate, toy, or anything that you like. That's a very simple drawing, but I really want you to draw something, well, you can add more details, such as this picture here. You can just draw more things in it and like add other buildings or add other people as well. So that's something you could do. Okay, now we have night. So after we finish day and the day is done, we have something called night. At nighttime, we cannot see the sun. It is dark. Children are asleep. Usually everyone, well, mostly everyone is asleep at night because it is dark and it's time to get some rest. So at nighttime, we cannot see the sun. So there is no sun and the sun gives us light. So if there is no sun, it is dark. Children are asleep. Okay, so this is a picture of the nighttime. What happens at night? Well, we can say the sun goes down. So during the nighttime, the sun goes down. See here, the sun is up. But in the nighttime, the sun goes down. So it is very dark. What can you see? Well, look at the picture. What can we see? We can see the city lights. So here we can write the city lights. We can also see the moon. So, and the moon. It doesn't reflect, it just reflects the sun's light. And it's not actually a star, it's sort of, it's called a moon. And that is what it does, it just orbits the Earth. So the moon is not a star nor a planet, it's actually just called a moon. Okay, so just remember that. The moon is not a sun or a planet, the moon is just a moon. That's what we call it. Now, paint a picture of the night. Okay, let's draw something. So here we don't have the sun, but we have the moon. I don't know how the moon looks like, to be honest, but I'm just doing this here. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a building. Okay, here I'm going to draw a bed, and that's me. Just sleeping in the bed. So that's what happens during the nighttime. And thanks to the moon, we have some light to see, but it's not very bright again, so we can't really rely on it for light. Now, just for a quick review of day and night. Day, in the daytime, we're awake. The sun gives us light to see. We can do many things in the daytime, such as go out, play, go to school, go shopping, and so on. What can we see? Well, we can see everything because the sun gives us light, and we can see the sun as well, but we can't look straight at it because it's very bright. Paint a picture of the day. We already did that. At night, we cannot see the sun. It is dark and children are asleep. What happens at night? The sun goes down and we can see the city lights and the moon. Again, the moon is not a planet nor a star, it's just something that orbits the Earth. So if we draw the Earth here, so Earth is a planet, and this is Earth. And here we have the moon. Many other planets have moons as well in our solar system. So we can just call them, they have different names. Ours is the moon, that's its name. Other planets have different names for their moons. So that's how it looks like for us from Earth. Okay, so that's it for the lessons. That's it for today's lesson. Let's go over to the workbook and I'll tell you what's today's homework. Okay, here, this is today's homework. Join the dots and color the picture. Okay, so here we have dots, 1, so we can just join them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to join them until we draw the secret picture. What is this picture of? After you finish, you have to color it. So join the dots and then color. Use these words to finish the sentences. The boat is, the water is, we have solid and liquid. Find 4 solids and 4 liquids in this grid. Write the words in the correct places. So this is one, for example. Here, water. Now, water is a solid or a liquid? Water. That's right. Water is a liquid. So here we write water. Okay, you have to find the others and write them in either liquids or solids. Finish the words and arrows to complete the chart. Add more properties if you can. Now, if you have time to do this, that's great. If you don't, it's okay. We will do it in the next lesson. And we'll also sing this rhyme. And it sounds really nice. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you learned something new. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.